Let us now discuss about a another offering from Amazon. We call it as S3, and they have given some names to objects that we use called the buckets and objects that go into those buckets. So let us see what exactly this bucket means and what are the objects that we can put into that. So we can put objects or files into these buckets. You can think these buckets as directories in our file system in our local computer. But even though Amazon doesn't keep any directory structure or it doesn't use these directories, they have some other mechanism we will discuss later. But these buckets can hold files. Files means it can be any extension, it can be simple txt files, or mostly people put large files like images and video files there for data mining, data analysis, artificial intelligence, so they're those kind of a thing. So some of the conventions that we need to follow is that when we create a bucket, that bucket should have a unique name, not just a unique name in your space, but globally unique. Means if some user in the world has given a particular name, for example test, and if you try to create a bucket with that particular name test, Amazon doesn't allow it. So the name that you are going to give for your bucket should be globally unique, so keep that in mind. And buckets are defined at the regional level. Even though when we create the bucket it may seem that we are using some global space for this bucket, that is not the case. It will be a region scoped. And there are some naming conventions. For example, we have the name to be of no upper cases, it cannot have underscores. So that means you can have hyphens in between. The minimum character is 3 up to 63 characters long for your bucket name. You cannot use any IP naming conventions with the dots and the stuff. And it should start with either a lowercase or a number. Some of the naming conventions not difficult to follow. And these objects that we are going to put into these buckets, it will have a key that identifies itself. And what exactly is a key? It is a full path to the file that we have put. For example, the name of the bucket that I have created is my hyphen bucket, and the key is the file name itself. But of course, if you want to put you need to have a lot of files and you need to have some kind of a directory structure. I In this case I have put created a my underscore folder and then an images folder, and then I have put the files, the txt file into that. So the key represents starts from the my underscore folder, whatever I have depicted in blue. You can think of this key as something having a prefix with the object name. So the this part in yellow is the prefix, the my folder and images, and the file name itself being the name of the object part. The whole thing makes the key that identifies that particular file. And then what exactly is the value? The contents in that particular file is the value. You can think in terms of the map data structure with the key and the value pair. And the maximum object size is 5000 GB or 5 terabytes. Of course, you won't be able to upload files with that particular size, because your the computer memory or even Amazon doesn't allow. You need to do some multi-part and all the stuff. Anyway, that is not our discussion right now. Again, we are continuing our discussion to the minimum of what exactly CTS is expecting from the curriculum. There are many more, like we can version all these files and all the stuff that we can discuss at a later time. So let us go ahead and start creating the file. So I will, as usual, try to use the help of the search S3. Click on the S3 there. And then I'm going to create a bucket by clicking on the bucket, because I don't have any bucket as of now. So I will create maybe CTS bucket demo will do. And then, as I told you, buckets are region scoped, even though the user interface will trick you into thinking that it is kind of a global. And here, S3 does not require region selection. Why? Because when we create a bucket, you anyway have to select a particular region. I will be using this North Virginia region, and if you can see, I'm not using the CTS supplied credentials, and I will be using some North Virginia location because I have some free trial space in there. You will have to use the Ohio region and get your job done. And then there are some default things that I will leave it all these things as is and start creating the bucket. So I have created this particular bucket. Let me click on the bucket and then do something about it. So let me add a file, a small file with a small size, so that we can add a folder with a lot of images or video files in that. Up to you. I will add a simple file which I have already copied into my desktop, an image of me which is of very small size, and I have done the selection, and then I click on upload. So you can see the upload happening here, and because it is a small file, it happened very quickly. Let me close it, and then let me go into this my image.jpg. So I want to see this. So the easiest way to see this in the browser is to click on this particular button called open. If I click on it, it will open up a new tab, and I will be able to see my image or whatever file you uploaded. There is another URL that has been specified here. I can use that too. So let me copy it out, take a new tab, and then paste it and view the image. No, it is telling access denied. So what can be the issue? So if you remember, when we created this particular bucket, and if you go to the permissions, you can see that the block public access. That means I don't want, when I created the bucket, I didn't want any public to view the files inside the bucket. So if you want, and as I have already told, nobody would want the files in the buckets to be public, because most probably it will be some application that will be accessing this S3 bucket for data mining that we have already discussed. So here I want to see, for example, if we want to see, then you need to edit, and to see it in the URL, you need to edit it, and then just uncheck the block all public access. That's all. So it will, so what exactly it was doing, if somebody has given any access control list to block the image, you just unblock everything and then give on the save image. So if, always whenever we give an action in for any resources, Amazon wants us to confirm our selection. So just enter confirm here and press the button. Now you can see successfully edited. Now my bucket is for objects can be public. So now the file should be public. Let me reload it. No, I am still not getting access to that particular file. So why is that? I have given access to this particular bucket to everybody. But then what we need to do, we need to make the files inside these two. If there are many files, you can check all the things, and then you can see there is another button here called object actions. So I want this particular file me.jpg also to be public. So I will make it public. Again, it will ask for the confirmation. So let me make it public. So it is now public. Can I view the file now, please? Yes. Now we are able to see the image. So only if you want to watch it, or anybody in the public wants to access your files or the bucket, the first thing you need to make your bucket public and the files inside that public too. A small demo of what is expected of you from the this small discussion. So once you have done that, I would advise you to to delete whatever that we have created. So the first thing that you need to do here, we need to delete the files that you have created. I want to delete the bucket, but without deleting the file itself or whatever the files, first we need to do, you need to go and delete the files inside the bucket. And then once you have all deleted all the objects in the bucket, you can go ahead and delete the bucket itself. So you can see, so it'll again ask for, do you want to delete? So Amazon always asks for the confirmation from you. So let me now delete it. Now, of course, the object has been deleted. I can go back to the bucket and delete the bucket itself. So let me delete the bucket itself. And now again, Amazon asks for confirmation from you. Let us confirm and delete the bucket itself. So if you put the bucket, of course, it will incur the cost. I don't want to do that. So this is a small demo and a discussion on S3 bucket. Okay, that's all for this video. Bye for now.